Thank you. Um, yes, hi everyone. My name is Aous. Today I'm going to be talking about exploring experience of using security education training and awareness in Nordic municipalities. I've done this work with two colleagues, Joakim and Nohlberg. Now, security education and awareness, or security education training and awareness. The importance of information systems is hard to describe. Information systems are well, a necessity of life today, and the information of such systems or the security of these systems is of high importance. Unfortunately, many of the practices in use today for the security of information systems are based are not based on empirical evidence. Now, research into the area or the field of security training is nothing new. However, it has been growing exponentially, especially in the last 5 or 6 years. Now, importance of SETA, human behavior is regarded as the weakest chain in the security or the weakest link in the security chain, sorry. And technical solutions, especially when used alone, are not sufficient. This has been proven time and again. And strengthening the information security posture of an organization is very important today. I mean, attacks are occurring every day, and attacks are not stopping. There are actually more attacks every year, and which points an emerging need for training end users. Now, McComber here from 2004, he cements the idea with this quote where he says, education, training, and awareness may be our most prominent security measures. I happen to agree with that. Now, the challenges with the SETA are mainly user adherence, where users think that security is too difficult, or being aware of information security is too difficult, and following policies and procedures hinders them in their workflow, which often leads to them finding workarounds. And then there's a problem of knowledge retention, where security training is regarded as a one-time thing, or a thing that happens maybe once a year at most. And then there's training delivery, where it is, especially in large organizations, it's hard to deliver training efficiently to large numbers of users. However, we've seen, especially with training delivery, we've seen improvements. This is ContextAware Training. It's a novel new concept that actually integrates training into information systems, where training becomes a part of the workflow, the daily workflow. And the idea is that the system or the training system will detect when a user activity warrants some training. For example, when a user tries to create a new account, so their browser or computer detects that and present them with some form of training on what's a good password. Or when a mail agent or email client detects or suspects a phishing email, so they get some training on that too. Now, the aim of our research was to investigate what the preferences and expectations of Nordic municipalities are in regard to end user security education training and awareness. And yeah, the idea was to take a new perspective on the area, subject area, because which is the what the organizations themselves think of what training should look like. And that's because this perspective is largely overlooked. And well, I mean, the rising number of attacks, there's a rising number of attacks, yet research points seems to have solved the problem somehow, which means that there seems to be a gap between research and practice. Now, our research methodology was an online survey distributed through email. This was done to include as many participants as possible, and online surveys has, especially anonymized ones like this one, have been proven to lead more or yield more results and higher accuracy in privacy and security sensitive topics. Now, our methodology started with designing and then deployment phase and then analysis phase. The design phase included sampling, and we used a somewhat random sampling method where we used total sampling method, where we sent the questionnaire to all Nordic municipalities, and we let them choose if they wanted to participate or not. And thereafter, we developed the questionnaire and standardized the questions. We've actually translated them, professionally translated them into 5 languages, 5 Nordic languages, besides English, so 6 in total. And then the instrumentations, we used the Lime survey because it met all of our requirements. Then the deployment phase, we've run some pre-testing. We've had both technical and non-technical people partake or participate in the pre-testing, and we've even included a statistician in the pre-testing phase. Invitations were sent, and then reminders also via email. And then analysis. The survey consisted of 2 types of questions: closed and open questions. So the closed ones were statistically analyzed, and the open questions were thematically analyzed. The idea was that some questions are better answered with yes or no, or predefined alternatives, and some other questions need some more explanation in the participants' own word. Now, so yeah, sorry for that. Yes, responses. Now, the invitation was sent out on a Sunday evening, and then 2 weeks later, a reminder was sent out on a Sunday evening as well. And then we waited 1 more week, and then the survey was taken offline. Of the total 1,123 municipalities, we've got responses that covered, or 96 responses that covered 136 municipalities. Now you may notice that the number of covered municipalities is a lot higher than the number of responses. That's because some municipalities, it is common, not common, it happens that some municipalities have joint IT departments. Most of the responses were from Sweden, so yeah, keep that in mind. Now, findings. We've noticed that 71% of all participants answered yes to the question whether they have or they offer SETA now, today, or not. And 14.6% answered yes, they did, but in the past, and they do not do that anymore. And 14.6 have never actually offered SETA. I mean, 71% is a good percentage, but it's not 100, and it should be 100. Now, the methods of training. The most common method was online with 80% or over 80% of the participants actually using that method. And then oral informative and written. Oral informative can be presentations or actually in person, more close one-on-one. And then written informative could be articles, yeah, or emails. Online was video, it included videos and tests. Now, you may seem that they add up to more than 100. That's because they were able to choose all that applies to this question. And gamified came only at 4.4%. Now, frequency of training, the most prominent training frequency was annual, so once a year, with 35% or over 35, just over 35%. And then even less frequent came at 27.9%, which is shocking. Yeah, this is bad to say the least. Now, regarding the user attitude towards SETA in the municipalities, the majority of participants reported positive user attitude, followed by indifferent at 32%, over 32%, and very small percentiles of negative attitude, which is good. So they are doing some things right and some things wrong. Now we go on to the non-statistical questions or the open questions, where actually these were thematically coded by all three, or first they were coded by the lead researcher, and then they were iterated with the help of two more, the rest of the researchers. Now, the maximum mentions could be 96. Yeah, and this question regarded the key design factors of SETA, what's seen as ideal training program by Nordic municipalities. Well, so most of them, not most actually. Yeah, but 45 mentions regarded time effectiveness and accessibility or availability as very important factors, and easy to understand and relevant, followed by reoccurring. So, which is interesting because they think that training should be reoccurring. At the same time, today it's done either annually or less frequently, mostly. Now, the second open question was about the training methods used, or what's regarded as ideal training methods, not specifically used. And these were e-learning with all of its forms, videos, articles, tests, and then instructor-led was preferred over other training methods. However, it's not used a lot, which can be understandable. Municipalities tend to be large organizations, and having instructor-led training is hard, costly, and not so time effective. Now, yeah, a shocking result here, or a shocking or a noticeable thing that was that gamification was not mentioned at all here. However, it's highly regarded in research. Yeah. Now, the last open question regarded what is expected from training, and most municipalities or participants answered that it should improve security culture in organizations, which should lead to less security incidents. Yeah. Now, yeah, there seems to be a conflict between what is currently used in the participating municipalities and what is thought to be ideal in the same by the same municipalities, which is interesting. And explaining that is beyond the scope of this study, but this may prove a gap between research and practice. This is further cemented by the lack of gamification among what is thought to be ideal training by Nordic or participating municipalities, which was shocking because, well, yeah, a lot of research into the area considers gamification to be one of the best methods to deliver training today. Yes, so thank you very much for listening. Yeah.